It has come time to remove the gearbox. Here we go. So the old Hilux has come to a point where it's jumping out of first. I've been putting this off for a long time, and only because second gear low range is pretty much the same as first, so I've just been shifting from 4 low to 4 high on the road, and I've got through it. I'm gonna pull the gearbox apart, and I've done a little bit of research and called a few specialists and checked out some YouTube comments, etc., and I'll show you that all in a minute, or later on. But I'll show you what it's doing so you have an idea. What do I do in the same situation? So here we go. I'll see if I can spin this around. Okay, so I'm going to put the car under first. So it's in first. See, it jumps out. Yeah, we don't want that, especially when you're in full drive. So go back just fine. Oh, didn't do it that time. But it definitely does it on a load, and when you're camping or going down the beach, you definitely want first gear. So the gearbox is coming out, and we'll see what we can find. Okay, progress so far. So I disconnected the sway bar. I just disconnected my exhaust system, and it's a good thing I did, because that's obviously loose. That's not good. So I've got an exhaust leak fixed. So, next step is to take the drive shaft out, and then the front one, and I'm going to start looking at the clutch, take that off, see how we go. So, yep, drive shaft's out, front drive shaft's out now, rear drive shaft's out, obviously, everything's disconnected. I came in through the sides here and went for the top bolts of the gearbox. Always undo the hardest ones first, because it's, if you can't undo the hard ones, there's no point in trying to get to the easy ones. So now I'm up to the point of undoing all of these bell housing bolts except for the 2 easy ones. Then I'll support it with the hoist. Once it's supported, then I'll remove this rear cross member, undo the mount, so remove that completely, so that's out of the way. Undo those last 2 bolts, and then pull the gearbox out. Hopefully it'll come out nice and easy. We'll see. Righto, so it's about to come out. So there we go, it's supported. Just make sure that all of my electrical connections have, all the supports have been disconnected, so I don't rip the wiring out of the car, because that will suck if you do that. Trying to figure out what goes where. And now it's just a matter of carefully pulling it down, balancing it on the hoist, and getting it over to the bench. Righto. Another good reason to check. There is supposed to be more of those in there. Oh, there we go. All gone. That's going to be fun to get out now. Cool. One thing that surprised me of this clutch is I put this in at 200,000 Ks when I first bought the car. Had a slipping clutch. Put this guy in. The car's now got 450,000 Ks on it, and it is quite substantially it's got a fair bit of meat there still. For the fact that I've had to slip the clutch of late to get it on the move, this has lasted a fair bit. I'm going to put exactly the same clutch back in, which I think is just a standard clutch. I'm not going to be towing anything heavy. I've actually removed the trailer brake out of it, because it was scary towing the selector down to the drag strip last time. So anything more than a ton, I think I'll pull it with Hammer's car. But yeah, pretty impressed by that clutch, and the fact that the flywheel's not too bad. I'll go over to that. So the flywheel, a little bit of close inspection. Like, you can still see some of the cross hatching in it from when it was machined last time, which is pretty impressive. And there's not a great deal of hot spots either, so there's only a couple of little tiny ones, which, once again, very impressed with that. But yeah, I'll send this off to get machined as well, because that's what you do with the new clutch. There we go, perfect example. She's leaking, so I'll replace that as well. Get a new one in there, maybe even put a speedy sleeve on it, because it's probably a nice groove in there now. So yeah, just cheap maintenance while you're here. It's like $5 part, or probably $10 part now. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away. Transfer case is off. I've taken the adapter off, so between the transfer case and the rehousing, and bell housing's off. And now we're into the nitty gritty. So look at this guy. Find out. We actually need to get to this side here and find out the selector forks, and that's what we actually want to know. So I'm trying to keep all my bolts into a pile so when I can finally unlock the house, because I've lost my key, I'm going to get some Ziploc bags and put those transfer bolts away. These guys go at the top for my reference for the wiring. The top, around the top somewhere for wiring. The rest of it, whatever. And these guys here are for the rehousing. So I've come to a standstill. I've done the research. I've asked all the questions of the local repair shop if I can do this, and they say go ahead, give it a shot. I've done the research on the internet with local YouTube channels. I'll see if I can show you this. So this is a YouTube tutorial that I found online on how to pull this apart, and I've asked specific questions, as you can see down here, on what my issue would be. And one of the issues that this particular dude who specializes in doing this transmission is, he reckons it would be the selector forks. So these are my selector forks, and they look fine in my opinion, and that lies the problem. My opinion don't mean shit, because I've only owned this gearbox. It's the only one I've ever tried to pull apart and put back together, because I've only ever had to do this. But I don't have a press, I don't have a lathe to check run out, I don't have a lot of tools that the builder would have, so I'm going to, which I have, boxed it all up, put everything in bags, and put a nice little convenient little box. And next year, when Christmas is over, I'm going to send this off into the gearbox repair shop and have them put it back together for me properly. So it's all there, ready to go. So that's a next year problem. Meanwhile, the hoist is free. Car's outside. It should be probably there, but it is what it is. Anyway, until I get the gearbox repaired, everything's just going to be on hold.